y'all, and welcome to my channel. My name is Princess. If this is your first time, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. On this video, I am going to discuss my process of trying to conceive, which is the TTC journey, and what I've been going through and what happened, and this is just a bit of an update from the last two videos that you saw that I announced that I was pregnant. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Alrighty, so it's taken me a while to go ahead and talk about this, so I'm finally getting to the point where I'm able to talk about it. But as of, you guys right here, because this light is like bothering me. So as of today is, oh, I'm gonna watch on, what is today? Oh, today is July 19th. And I found out I was pregnant originally in May. And then, let's see, my first doctor's appointment was supposed to be on June 28th. So I was excited about it, yet I was really nervous. Let me think. Where am I gonna start? Please excuse me, y'all, because like I said, it's been hard to talk about it. It's been very hard to talk about it. All right, let's do it. So I started my TTC journey. I found out I was pregnant in May. June 14th, I had a dream. And that dream showed me the test that I was taking, because I took a lot of tests. So the pregnancy test that I was taking, it was like I was like replaying what I did already, but this time it wasn't positive, it was negative. So I woke up that morning on June 14th and I was like, no, I'm gonna go to the doctor. So I decided to go to the doctor, and everything was great. The baby was 6 weeks and 1 day. I thought I was like 6 weeks and 4 days or something like that, or 6 weeks and 5 days, because that was on a Wednesday. So I thought I was 6 weeks and 4 days on a Wednesday. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, because I was supposed to change on that Friday or Saturday. Between Friday and Saturday, I was supposed to be going into my 7th week. Well, on June 14th, I ended up going and getting a sonogram. Everything was great. We saw the heartbeat. We was also able to hear the heartbeat, y'all. So we saw she did the belly thing. We just went to a random women's clinic, and I'm not gonna even lie, I did lie and tell her that I was later than what I was supposed to be, so she can go ahead and do the sonogram, because they was not going to do the sonogram. And when I was on the phone with somebody, they told me, well, they basically told me, unless you say you further along, that's the only way they do a sonogram. Basically, that's what they was trying to tell me. So that's what I did. I did lie. Lord forgive me, and I wish I did not do that, because that really kicked me in the butt. So I lied. I had this whole story. I'm not gonna tell you what the story was. I had this whole story to tell a lady. She ended up doing the sonogram, and like I said, there was a heartbeat. We got sonogram pictures. I'm gonna post the sonogram picture right here. And the heartbeat was 115 beats per minute, and we got to see it. And I mean, I said it already. We got to see it. I was happy. You know, I was good, because, you know, from that dream, I was like, well, the dream was just a dream, right? Well, that night I ended up spotting, and it was very light pink. The next morning I ended up spotting again, but this time it was bright red, and that was on June 15th. So on June 15th, I was bright red, spotting. I decided to go to the hospital. Well, after 10 hours of being at the hospital, that's when they told me that I was measuring 5.5. I was measuring 5.5, and they was like, the baby may be too small to look at. And I was like, okay, well, if the baby is too small to look at, then, and they couldn't see a heartbeat. Well, mind you, the day before, I just saw a heartbeat. So they told me they couldn't find a heartbeat. They weren't able to see a heartbeat, and I was measuring 5.5. The day before, I was measuring 6 weeks and 1 day. I saw the heartbeat, and I was able to see, you know, hear the heartbeat as well. Well, after that 10 hours of being there and going through that, I decided to wake up the following day on June 16th. I maybe I got my days wrong. Maybe June 15th was the sonogram. June 16th was the hospital. And then June 17th was the day I went to the other hospital. Well, the other hospital, I think my dates was right the first time. So June 16th, I went to a second hospital. This second hospital was the hospital that I would be delivering at, or I was supposed to be delivering at. And they was really good to me. They decided to do everything, do a pelvic check. I keep looking down because y'all, these lights are like so bright. And I'm just like, ugh. So they decided to do a pelvic check, and then they did another ultrasound. This time they were able to see a baby. They were able to see a heartbeat. Now they didn't tell me, of course, when they was doing it, because at the hospitals they can't tell you. In the ultrasound room, you'll have to actually get information from the doctor once you've done the ultrasound and stuff. They'll like call you back to the back and tell you what your results are. But during the process, at this point I was like bleeding a lot. It wasn't spotting no more. It was like I was on a full period. That's what it felt like. So they ended up diagnosing me at the second hospital with a subchorionic hemorrhage. And if you don't know what that means, basically it's when your placenta and your uterus, I believe, is trying to connect. And the connection pretty much has instead of it being connected, somewhere along the way, there's an open where it didn't connect all the way, and then now it's blood that's in there. And either some women don't bleed, and then some women do bleed, like I was bleeding. So it was saying, so mind you, let me go back. The first hospital said it was a threatened miscarriage. The second hospital said that it was subchorionic hemorrhage. It can go either way. I can continue to have a viable pregnancy, or I could end up miscarrying. So they didn't tell me it was a threatened miscarriage or anything. They just said it can go either way. Like I said, they saw the heartbeat. They was able to tell me that there was a heartbeat. At this point, I also didn't tell you one thing. I keep looking down. The first hospital's, my HCG beta was 2,800, roughly around that time, roughly around that number. And then they couldn't see the heartbeat. The second hospital, like I said, they said it was a subchorionic hemorrhage. This time, the heartbeat was 97 beats per minute. Mind you, on 2 days before, I went to a regular clinic and the heartbeat was 115. I was measuring 6 weeks in 1 day. But when I went to the second hospital, that's 2 days later, I was measuring 6 weeks in 2 days with a heartbeat of 97 beats per minute with a subchorionic hemorrhage. So it was a possibility that I could have a good pregnancy. So they told me to just get a lot of rest, stay off my feet, do pelvic rest when nothing goes in your vagina, okay? So I was like, okay, cool. I literally went on a strict bed rest. They told me you don't have to be strict. I made myself strict. So I was on a strict bed rest. Mind you, this is Father's Day weekend, so I didn't get the chance to spend time with my father. I didn't get a chance to spend time with my husband, but my husband did take my son to his mother's house, and they got to spend time with his dad. And I mean, everybody FaceTimed me and things like that, and it was great. I actually got a little peace because I was at the house by myself, so it was cool. But it sucked because it'd be cool if I was like not going through what I was going through, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip so you can see what my mindset was. And this video is actually one of the days that I was bed resting, and then I'll get back with y'all on the clip after. I wanted to come on here and do a video while I'm in the moment of what I'm going through. Please disregard the stains on my shirt and how I'm looking crusty. So I just found out yesterday that I have what is called a subchorionic hemorrhage or hematoma. I am, as of today, I'm supposed to be 7 weeks based on my last cycle, but they are saying, and then I went to get a sonogram on, so it's the crazy thing, went to get a sonogram on Tuesday, and I was measuring 6 weeks in 1 day. Not today, back, it was Wednesday. So I was measuring 6 weeks in 1 day. Today is Saturday. The following day, on that Thursday, I started bleeding. It was very light. It only bled, like I would pee and then I would wipe and it would be blood. And then Friday, so I went to the hospital anyway. So I went to the hospital and they said I was having a miscarriage, threatened miscarriage. So the next day, I called my doctor that morning, Friday morning, which was yesterday, and asked them if I can come in sooner. They said they don't want to see me. They can't see me until Wednesday of next week. So on the 22nd, and yesterday was the 17th. So what I do? Oh, I went to the hospital that I was supposed to deliver. Cause I went to a hospital near me, but I went to the hospital that my doctor actually works out of. So I went to that hospital. They did so good, took great care of me, and was very prompt, very intentional, very attentive with everything they did, and they really took care of me. But they did everything and did a sonogram. They did see the baby still had a heartbeat, and they said I was measuring 6 weeks and 2 days. Well, mind you, the day before on Thursday when I went to the other hospital, they said they couldn't even see a heartbeat, and that I was measuring 5 weeks and 5 days as far as the gestational sac. Well, a lot of things have worried me since yesterday, and I'd rather wait till another day to talk about the other things. But I'm supposed to go to my doctor's appointment on Wednesday. Like I said, today's Saturday. Yesterday I went to the hospital. They said I have the subchorionic, whatever it's called, hemorrhage. I'll put the name here. But so right now I am on strict bed rest, and we're gonna see what happens from here. I'm praying for a healthy baby to still be inside of me and growing. I am still bleeding very bad. Have a little headache here and there. My back kind of have like sharp pains, like sporadic sharp pains every now and then. But other than that, I don't have any pain. Just doing a lot of research on Google, and thank God for my husband, because he has really been like there for me, making sure I get the food in my body, drinking all my water, my medicines, as far as my vitamins and stuff. Like, I'm so grateful for him. So we're gonna see what happens. Sis was supposed to be getting her nails done this week, but God got other plans. So I know that was random about my nails, but I literally woke up and was about to look at my nails done and then realized I was bleeding the other day. So that's how that all started. I'm honestly trying to stay positive about everything and stay prayed up, and and be in hope that this baby is continuing. If it's a girl, I already know her name is going to be Anaya. If it's a boy, thinking about his name, because at this point this baby is being very strong, and this baby is fighting for his or her life, and this baby is definitely a miracle. And I want to, every time I call this baby's name, I want to be reminded of the miracle that God has done in my life. And I'm so thankful, I'm so grateful for all that God is doing. And even though I'm going through this pain, I feel like even during this time, I feel like God knows what he's doing. And maybe my story is going to be able to bless somebody. It's going to be able to bless someone who's also going through the same thing and need hope. And I'm like, I always think like, God, why do I have to go through it? Why is it me that have to go through it? And, why can't I just have a normal, happy ending, or happy beginning, or happy everything? I always have to go through the worst. But at the same time, I know that God is using me to help someone else. So if you are seeing this video, that means God came through. And his plans were bigger than what my fears are. So if you're seeing this video, that means a good thing has happened. And God is so good. He's good no matter what. But this is a blessing if you are seeing this video. So like I said, I wanted to record in the moment and not have to, and be able to look back on like, wow, God did that. So we're gonna see. Next time y'all see me, I'm gonna be cute because I'm looking crusty right now. All right, so now that you saw that clip, that my mindset at that time was, okay, it's hope, right? And I was like, when you see that video, I was like, well, that means God has really done something, you know? Like, that means God has, like, showed out, right? Well, God has a way of, well, as a Christian woman, I believe that it's God's will and not mine. So whatever God wants for my life, that's what I believe and that's what I want, right? And in my mind at that time, I was hoping that what I wanted was gonna happen. However, God knows what I want and what I need. So I can't fight against what his plans are, you know? That wasn't, you know, because by the title of this video, you already know that this is a miscarriage video. But this is something that I want to encourage some people with this video. I know I'm just now saying that, but I do want to encourage someone with this video. Unfortunately, my subchorionic hemorrhage ended up in a miscarriage. It may not be you. So let me just finish the story. Went to the hospital. They said it was subchorionic hemorrhage. I ended up bed resting. That Monday, I went back to the hospital because the bleed had got so bad to the point where I was like, let's go back to the hospital. This is not right. And then I had like I used the restroom, and this little, I'm going to show this picture, you guys. This is very graphic. If you do not like to see blood, or if you do not like to see anything related to insides, do not look at this. But I'm going to show you the picture, and this is what came out of me and made me realize that I need to go to the hospital. So that's this. And to me, it looked like the baby. I mean, like the little hands, the feet, and everything. Like, it looked like the baby. I Googled it. I was like, this guy. And I felt like it was my baby. I literally reached in the toilet and got it, okay? I felt like it was my baby. So, put it in a little baggie, took it to the hospital. They did testing on it. For just to let y'all know, they said it wasn't nothing. Part of the stuff that was coming out of me, basically, from the process of miscarrying. Well, that same day, which was the following day after Father's Day, so it was on the 20th, I believe. That same day, that night after leaving the hospital, they did testing again as far as my HCG beta. I didn't tell y'all this. The first hospital said 2,800. The second time, which is the second hospital I went to, that hospital said I was at 2,500 HCG. So mind you, it dropped. So I knew then that it had to be a miscarriage if it dropped, right? And then on that Monday, because that was Thursday and Friday, and then that Monday came, went back to the hospital, gave them the little baggie of the like I showed you the picture. And at that time, they gave me my HCG levels, and my HCG was 198. So I knew then it was over, you know, pretty much, and it's just coming out of me. Well, that night, y'all, I was going through labor pains, and it felt like it was like it felt like it was like back pains, and I could feel and a tingling in my foot, and it felt like something was squeezing my stomach, but making it tight, like a contraction, you know. So I knew I was laboring. And I was looking at Bridgerton. I was looking at one of the shows that I was watching that I was binging through that time since I was in the bed. And something told me to get up. I gotta go pee. I gotta go do something, you know. So I used the restroom, and lo and behold, y'all, before I got to the bathroom, I didn't take pictures of this. As far as the lead to the bathroom, blood was everywhere. It was like a murder scene. I am not lying. I'm not exaggerating. It was because I had on a dress. So as soon as I stood, and I had on panties with a pad on. As soon as I stood up and tried to go to the bathroom, as soon as I got to like take down my pants, it's like it went everywhere. And I screamed for my husband to come up there. He helped me to clean up or whatever. But I did take a picture because I felt like at that moment I was done. It was over, because as soon as it happened, and it felt like a release from my body, and like the pain stopped. The bleeding ended up stopping. Like the bleeding stopped, and it was just like very, very, like if you wipe, it's like maybe a spot. Like it went back to like pink spotting. That's what happened after that. After that, took and cleaned up or whatever, took this picture. I'm gonna show you another graphic picture, so please beware. This is nasty, but I want to be real with you guys. This is the picture, and I was like, that's it. You know, that is it. If you never seen a miscarriage before, this is what it looks like. That was my actual first time seeing something that graphic in a long time, because this is my third miscarriage. My first miscarriage, that's when I seen something similar to that. Actually, that was what they call a spontaneous abortion. My body aborted the baby on its own, which kind of happened right now. Actually, then the body aborted the baby itself. That's another story, y'all. But anyways, the sac had came out like a few days later. So every time I've done this, I've always done it natural. I never had a DNC, which is like they do surgery to take everything out of you. I never done that before. The second time I had a miscarriage was in like 2015. That time, the miscarriage, it was like a period for almost a month. So this time was very different for me. The whole process, going back to the hospital, the whole situation was just like very different for me. And this time it hit me harder because I was actually, I was trying this time. Those other times I was like I ain't gonna say an accident, but it was like, oops, like I didn't know I was pregnant. This time I was actually trying, doing my ovulation test, the pregnancy test. I was like, me and my husband was really just trying to have a baby. So it hit me a little different this time, and it hit me hard, like very hard. I was blaming myself. My husband was saying, don't do that. Like it was hard. And then, I had to think like, what's making this happen or whatever. Did it something that I ate? Was it too hot? And they was telling me that it may not be anything. I don't know. Don't nobody really know why women have miscarriages. They said there's testing that you can do and stuff, but I haven't taken those tests or anything. But after that day of having the blood and stuff come out, I went back to the doctor on June 22nd, and they did an ultrasound, and they confirmed that the baby was not there. So my original ultrasound date was June 28th. Y'all, I was so hurt because that day on June 28th when they came, I was like, this was supposed to be the day that I go to the doctor. So now it's been, as of today, since it's the 19th, tomorrow's the 20th, as of tomorrow, actually, it'll be 1 month since I had that miscarriage. And that's what made me want to go ahead and do this video, so I can share with you all my experience and what happened to me. And I also want to encourage you all, if you are going through this right now, trust and believe. I know that it's easy to say, girl, you'll be fine. Just it'll be, you never know. You can, if you have a subchorionic hemorrhage, it may, a miscarriage may not happen, or a miscarriage will happen. And it's hard to prepare your heart for something like a miscarriage when you want to have hope. So only thing I can tell you right now is to think positive the whole time. No matter what way it goes. So think positive if you have a miscarriage. Think if it goes into a miscarriage, and think to yourself, if this goes into a miscarriage, I'm gonna, this is what God made. This is probably what God wants, and I'm gonna do. I have a chance to do this again. It can happen again. And if that happens again, as far as another miscarriage, keep going, and then do things. What you can do is get testing done to see why you're having miscarriages. Take the proper steps to see why you're having miscarriages. Don't give up on yourself, too soon. And if you end up in a position to where you cannot have children, think of other options like adoption and the what's the women that have the babies for you? I can't think of the name of it. But anyways, think of other options. You can be a mother. Don't give up on yourself as far as being a mother. And then also, if you're thinking a positive, think in the positive realm of this is going to happen. Just know, if it does not happen while you're thinking like that, God is still good, and God is still going to let this happen for you. It's just everything is in God's timing. So please stay encouraged during this time. I will say this: it was hard for me to be encouraged during that time, because it's like I want to like be hopeful, which I was trying to like push myself to be hopeful, but in the back of my head I kept thinking like this could go the opposite direction, and how would I take it? And I did not take it well. I'll be honest, like I was hurt, but God was still good in the process of me being hurt as well. I still had people praying for me. My husband's support was tremendously amazing. So like, I'm so thankful, I'm so thankful for that process of being able to cope and get over and being able to talk about it with you guys. So if you made it to this part of my video, thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead and drop me some hearts in the heart section. No matter what color, it does not matter what color heart, it's all love over here. And I'm so grateful that you've come to my video, and I look forward to continuing on my TTC journey with you guys, because I am still trying. My husband and I are still trying, and I'm so excited to announce when that time comes. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming to my video. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.